lovely people, my name is Nicole and it's the end of the month, so it's time for another book haul. This is another long one because, as has been previously established, I'm a bad person with very little impulse control. So let's just jump right in. The first book I got was Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs. This is the short story collection of sort of folk tales that take place in the same world as Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This is so cute. It has beautiful end papers and it's designed just absolutely beautifully. It has a ribbon bookmark and illustrations. It's just a bunch of sort of Tales of Beetle the Bard like folk tales in the world, and it's awesome. Then I got Furthermore by Tahara Mafi, and this is about a girl who lives in a world where color is magic, and she is a little lacking in that department. She has no color on her pretty much whatsoever. So that's something that she's struggling with, and she's also struggling because her father went missing. One day, however, a boy she knew in her childhood comes and finds her and tells her that he can help find her father. And to do that, they have to go into this weird kind of wonderlandy world called Furthermore, where the rules of magic from her own world have been completely flipped upside down, and it's crazy and it's dangerous and it's awesome. Then I got Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. This was sent to me by Penguin Teen, so thank you so much for sending it to me. This seems like it is kind of an intense read. It's about a girl who some big tragedy happened. It seemed like her best friend and maybe her parents, some members of her family died, and now she's struggling with the ramifications of that, particularly mental illness related. Based on the description, it seems like there should be a trigger warning for self-harm. It looks like in general this is just a dark sort of contemporary look at mental illness and tragedy. This came out on August 30th, so it is already out. Then I got Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas, and if you do not know what this series is about, where have you been? This is the latest book, I believe the 6th book in the Throne of Glass series, which is awesome epic adventures of Selena Sadathian, the badass assassin, and all her hordes of hot guys. Obviously I can't say specifically what this book talks about because spoilers, but it does pick up pretty quickly after the previous book left off, and it's just lots of epic army building and cool sexy scenes and just amazingness. Of course, I've already read it. I'll talk about it in my wrap up. Can I just take a second to say though, this book is so thin. This is like the size of Throne of Glass, if that. It's so thin because I switched to the thin pages, and that I get it, but it makes me sad because it means that all the other books in the series are like steadily getting larger and larger and larger, and it has this really good like aesthetic, and then this one's just tiny again and it ruins the look, and I'm very upset about it, but it's a good book, so you know, I will forgive it, kind of, maybe. We'll see. Then I got Phonegap by Laura Ruby, and this is about a group of teens who live in this sort of mysterious town, and one day one of them goes missing, and so the other two have to do whatever it takes to find her because no one seems to believe them. That's really all I know about the plot, but I have heard absolutely incredible things about this book, about the writing and just about the structure and just amazing things. Obviously it's kind of been well received, you know, with a National Book Award finalist and a Prince Award, so I'm very excited to read this. I wanted it pretty much since it came out, and now I actually have it so I can read it, and I'm so excited. Then I got Rubble of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton, and this seems like it's kind of a fantasy western kind of thing. A couple of characters are described as gunslingers, which is very western. It seems like there's some romance, and I honestly don't know a ton about the plot based on what I read from the description. It seems like it's kind of like this girl who is a total badass, but if she stays like in her hometown, she'll basically have to like get married and settle down, and she doesn't want that, and so she meets a cute foreigner and sort of runs off on this epic adventure with him. I don't really know, but I've heard really good things about it, and it sounds so different from anything I've ever read before that I'm really excited to read it. Then I got The Sacred Lies of Minnow Bly by Stephanie Oakes, and this is about a girl who grew up in a cult, and it's like this super creepy, sketchy, intense thing, and like at one point they like cut off her hands, and now the cult has been sort of dismantled and their leader is dead, and she's in the custody of the FBI, and they're like trying to get her to make a deal and wow, intense stuff. I don't know. This is another book that I've heard really, really good things about. And again, it's not something I've ever read anything like this before. So it should be really, really interesting. Then I got The Thousandth Floor by Catherine McGee. And I've heard this described as sort of a futuristic Gossip Girl. So I am very much into that. But basically it takes place in this skyscraper that has 1,000 floors, and it's about the people who live there, and it focuses on a few of the girls that live up on the top floors, where the higher you go, the wealthier you are, and then one of the girls who lives down on the lower floors, where things are not so pretty and sparkly. Then I got Spontaneous by Erin Starmer, and this is about a girl who is in her senior year of high school when her classmates start just kind of spontaneously combusting. That's all I know, but that sounds hilarious and awesome and just super weird, and I'm excited to read it. Then I got MuggleNet.com's Harry Potter Should Have Died, Controversial Views from the #1 fan site by Emerson Spartz and Ben Schoen. This is probably the book that has been on my to-buy list on Goodreads for the longest. I finally just said screw it, went on Barnes & Noble and got it. This basically goes through a bunch of questions about Harry Potter and presents arguments for all the different sides and then sort of comes up with a consensus. I actually filmed a video in which I go through some of the questions and answer them, giving some of my thoughts, so that'll be up soon. Keep an eye out for that. Then I got SpiderMan Deadpool Volume 1, Isn't It Bromantic? So this is the first trade paperback of the new SpiderMan Deadpool run, which is so hilarious. I've already read this because I read it literally like the second it was in my hands. This pairing is just so fun. It's a great combination and I love it, and so this is just a hilarity and comics of Spider-Man and Deadpool being awesome together. Then I got 3 Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake, and this is about a fantasy kingdom in which the ruling family has 3 children, each with their own special powers. One of them can control the elements, one of them is really good with poisons, and one of them can control nature. And basically when it is time for the next ruler to take the throne, the 3 of them duke it out, like, to the death to determine who gets the throne. And that just seems like it's gonna be awesome. Ladies kicking ass, and I am very excited to read it. Then I got It's Not Summer Without You and We'll Always Have Summer, both by Jenny Han. These are the second and third books in the Summer I Turned Pretty series. Basically I read the first book and I'm like, I need the rest of the series in my hands right now, and so I bought them. This is about a girl who every year she spends the summer with her mom, her brother, and her mom's best friend and her sons in their beach house. And so she's basically grown up with these boys, and then this year they start to realize she's not such a little girl anymore, and she has to deal with the fact that both of these guys now are kind of into her, and it's just adorable, fluffy romance, and it's so good. Then I got Young Avengers Volume 2, Alternative Culture, and Volume 3, Mic Drop at the End of Time and Space, which is an awesome name. These are the second and third parts of the Young Avengers run, which only had 3 parts, unfortunately, because I genuinely think this is like the best comics I've ever read. I love them so much. Obviously I have already read these. It has beautiful, beautiful artwork. So yes, like if you're gonna pick up one comic book series, make it this one. And then I got, literally just like a few hours ago, Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is the sequel to Six of Crows and the last book in the duology, and it is beautiful. I mean, look at those, look at the red pages and the cover, and I'm obviously reading it right now and I love it so much. If you do not know what this series is about, it's basically this heist story taking place in a fantasy world. It takes place in the same world as Leigh Bardugo's Grisha trilogy, and it just features this amazing cast of characters with shifting points of view, and it's amazing and wonderful, and everyone should read it because it's so good. Alright, so those are all the books I got this month. All the many books I got this month. We've established that I have a problem, let's not talk about it. Let me know if you've read any of these in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Let me know which one I should pick up next. I love you, and I will see you later. Bye!